Woohoo! Hey everybody, welcome back, Hex Token channel, and of course your host Superman, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about the prices at the moment. We'll check out some of the Pulsechain and see if we've got anything new there, and what else? We're gonna hang out. That's pretty much what we're gonna do. Hang out and look at the market prices and stuff like that. So get into it, folks. Hey, we're almost up to 400 members on Discord, so if you haven't joined Discord, definitely get in the Discord. We're at 399, so maybe you can be number 400. Definitely the link is at the top of the video description to get in there. So cool. I'll be doing a bit of work on that today. Going to be working on useful links up the top there today. So we're going to add a lot more into this. So we're going to make that the ultimate list. And yeah, you can get new token links. Like if you watched the video yesterday, you'll be able to see new token links with all the new cool tokens. We have deleted a few that we consider not too good. But apart from that, everything's there. So definitely get into Discord if you haven't as well. Nice. All right. So we're going to get into the Hex price and all the prices, all the good stuff. You know, this channel is really trying to focus on the course elements. And of course, for those who you don't like drama, this is a channel for you, right? So we're trying to keep out of that stuff. Morning all. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Hey, John, good to see you. We've got a big welcome from Hex Token. Steve Wright says, thank God you're on our side, Superman. Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. I appreciate that, Steve. Absolutely. And Brennan's in there as well. Howdy, Superman. How are you? Very, very good, man. Very, very good indeed. It's Friday here in New Zealand. Friday already. I know it's Thursday in many parts of the world. But it's Friday here, 11:16 a.m. Right at the frontier of the time zone on the planet. Of course, being down at the bottom, we do always live in the fear that we will fall off the bottom of the world. But we still seem to be here day after day, so it's not too bad. We've got HexGT in the house there. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hey, good to see HexGT, a Hex Token channel member as well. First one in the chat today, so that's pretty awesome. Navin's in there following pretty quickly after. Welcome and good evening from New York City. New York City, NYC, the great place there. Now, I've always wanted to go to a lot of different suburbs in New York City. All the movies that we watch, and there's so many New York suburbs that are either talked about or mentioned. So I definitely want to do that. I have been to New York. I went to Times Square. I went to Central Park. I did a little white cart around Central Park. It was pretty nice. What else? I went to the New York Opera House and a few, I think, performing arts there as well. Juilliard School of Arts there, stuff like that. So it was pretty good. Crypto Military in the house there. Big heart and peace and love. Good to see you, Crypto Military. And we've got Crypto Go Now's in the house there. What's up, all? And Hex Tin Top's in the house there. What's up? Hex Skins from Tin Top. And it's now. Woo! Good to see you. It's now in the chat there. Our moderator Foreman. We've got Navin as well. Woo! Good to see you, Navin. Players in the house. Good morning, all. Exciting times ahead. I think so. We're just in that very, very quiet period. It is interesting, though. Interesting to see the Hex price so linked to the Pulsechain roadmap. That's pretty interesting. We're learning lots about how things are working. Simple Believers in the house there. Good buying price. Is a good buying price. Is down at support, as you can see. We're going to talk about that shortly. Hex Hog's in the house. No drama here. Fine, I'm gone. Yeah, Hex Hog, you like the drama, so I'm sure there's a couple of crazy channels you can go and watch for sure. And a bench warmer's in the house there. Superman, great to see you. Mighty Kiwi. I appreciate that bench warmer. Woohoo! The Free Pulse Maxi. I like that. Free Pulse Maxi. Diamond Hands in the house there. Hey, family, good to see you. And have no fear, you can fly, Superman. Hey, Brennan, appreciate that. Nevin's in there too, guys. Hold on to your seats. We are going to the moon and above. That's right. Just stay cool. Hold the course, and you'll be fine. It's just got to wait out. It's going to come. It's eventually going to come. John says, can we do a few polls tonight? Does Hex go to 12 cents first or 9 cents? Okay, that's a good poll. Let's put that in. Let me just type that in. Hex price. Hex price. What are we going to have? We're going to write that. Hex price go to next. I guess where does. I guess it's kind of way of writing the question. Where does. I spelt that like a merry way there. Where does Hex price go to next? That's a good way of putting it. And we're going to have, we've got 12 cents. 12 cents. Let's do 8 cents. Let's do 8 cents. 8 cents. 9 cents is like too close. We've had 9.3 before. 9 cents. How about that? 8 cents. No, that thing's pretty good. We're at the moment 11 cents there, so also 12 cents plus, 8 cents minus, I guess. 8 cents minus. No, it doesn't even do the minus on that. Let's do. Let's take out the minus and plus. This looks a bit naffy. All right, that's cool. All right, you done that. A nice poll there, John. That's in the chat there. Gen Hex in the house there. Hey all. Hey Gen Hex, great to see you make it here today. It's obviously a better time. Navin says, Superman, please be my guest when you visit New York in the future. Hey, that'd be a pleasure, Navin. That'd be really cool. It's a big city, man. Big city for a guy down from down under in little Kiwi land. So nice. All right, there's a poll up at the moment. Where does Hex price go to next? Oh, I forgot. I put got, not go. Oh man, after all that time I spent on it too. 12 cents or 8 cents. Let's see what happens there. Let's get it, says DB. Absolutely. John Gibbons says thanks. Hey, you're welcome. All right, so here's the Hex price. This is what we were stuck in for ages, and we're still stuck. We got back in it. We popped out, but we're back in. So we actually got a bigger triangle here. So we're going to rip this apart. Let's do that today. Because we've now got a new ratio there. So we're going to have to pull that in. So we're going to have to make this whole chart fit in the box here. So we're going to get rid of a lot of these stuff. We're going to get rid of rid of our targets. So we're going to delete all that. Bam, and bam, bam, and bam on that. We're going to delete all that. Bam, 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 bam. We're just going to make it a bit easier to read in terms of that. We're going to delete probably. We still got our price targets there. We're just going to set up we got the top of our band here. We're going to make sure that's about right, and we're going to go to our new one here. We've got back in, so we formed a new formation, as it were. So we're going to put that in there. Bam. So now we're still going. It's still going. This thing has got bigger and bigger. We have busted that out, so we're going to take that away. We've still got our horizontal lines, so that's cool. We're going to keep our historical lines there. So the end of the Pulse Sacrifice for Pulsex, the Hex all-time doubling 6 months. Should probably put 6 months on there just to make that easier. Hex all-time doubling 6 months. 6 months. Of course, we've broken that, but we'll keep it for history purposes. Official end of both sacrifices, the 6th of April there. Might as well add 6th of April there. 6th of April. Just for interesting sake there. So cool. I don't know if I got that wrapped. Maybe I have got it wrapped. I don't know. Let's pull that out then. Let's pull it out and make sure that works. That doesn't work. Take that away. Add it in, and 6th of April. That's cool. Let's put that in. That's better. That looks a bit better. So we got 6th of April there. We're going to keep that. So we're obviously back in this bigger ascending triangle now. Descending triangle, I should say. And here we are. We have keeps bouncing on support. Now, what's interesting here? Let's go back, and we're going to zoom in on this little area here. We'll keep the vertical dates in, so the 25th of May, the end of May, even though we're likely to blow past that because it looks like we're not even near that. So until we get some further information, we will not be talking much about that until we get a bit of idea of when Richard gives us some ideas there. We're going to delete this off there. We've got a few things off here. We're going to what's this? The 15.8. We're going to delete that off, and the 14. We're going to keep that in there. Keep the 14 cents in there. We'll probably keep that into there. What's this one there? 18.19. Yeah, we'll keep that one in there. No, that's actually now higher, so we actually might just take that up to the 20 cent mark. So we'll keep that on the 20 cent mark. We've got the 14 and the 20 cents. What's the next one up here? We're going to copy that. We're going to put that up into the 17. So we're going to take it around the 16 there. So we're going to leave that in there. So we've got to travel out here. We've still got quite a few days. Now, what's the cool thing we're going to look at? We've got obviously from back on the 5th of March, 2022, all the way through to today, 20th of May. Can you believe it's already the 20th of May? Is that insane or what? That's 76 days. So 76 days And we have tested this price here at 10 cents quite a few days here. So we've got the first day here, we've got 10.03. So we've got 10.06 here. So we've got, if I've had this up already, we've got 13 days there out of 77. So remember, so 77. So since the 5th of May through to about the 20th, I think we've had 13 days that have been over 10 that have hit the 10 cent mark. So pretty crazy stuff here. We're going to have a look up there. We've got two up here. We had 3, 4. So anything that's sort of under 11 cents, between 10 and 11 cents, we've hit that 13 times. And so I'm just going to double check that number because I did it yesterday. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might have done a different number the other day. 6, 7, 8, 8 there, and yeah, 8. So 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I must have done a slightly different number yesterday. 10, 11, 12, and 13. 13 plus today is 14. So 14 days out of the last 76 days. That's 18.4%. So pretty much 1 in 5 days we've been hitting this 10 mark here. 1 in 5 days since these last 76 days there. So we've pretty much been able to keep this intact. We had some pretty sketchy moments here in these areas, and of course that's where we're back at the moment. We've increased the size of our ascending triangle now. So we'll see how we get on there. We've got a couple of weeks to get out of that. So if we wanted to get out of that, something like maybe 54 days, something like that. Yeah, 54 days, say, to get out of that triangle. But of course, we're not going to talk about the timeline, but we're expecting it to launch at this stage. So it was a bit of a surprise to see Richard talk about internal audits, which was a good thing. That is a good thing. But it was a little bit of surprise after the Wendy O interview and things like that. So obviously a little bit of communication stuff going on there, possibly even with the dev team. So hopefully we'll see that. But I think Richard made it pretty clear that he's relying on the devs, and he's got his senior devs doing internal audits, and then getting trying to make sure the code, all of the things are being ranked by order, whether they need to be done before Pulsechain launch or after Pulsechain launch, everything tidied up. And of course, the ultimate thing is that you want 100%. You want everything to be working perfectly well. There's a lot riding on this. I suggest to you that Richard's probably feeling the pressure quite a bit. So we're just going to be patient with this and let it come when it's going to come. And until that point, we've just got to ride through the price. Now, that said, of course, the Hex price is being affected by Pulsechain. And of course, that's pretty interesting, right? Rather than just a standalone pros and cons, obviously with Pulsechain, not surprising, but it is pretty interesting. So here we are back down at the support line. Our support line pretty much is at the 10 cent mark. We've pierced it this once and twice. So we pierced 10 cents on the 9th. That was for a one bot trade too. So someone was selling and they got bot run and then ended up getting a price of 9.289 cents. And then we had the second time we pierced it down through just the other day, 4 days ago, at 9.927 cents. So twice we've actually just pierced that, but we've been holding that 10 cent mark. At the moment, of course, we're at 10.95 cents, so almost 11 cents, and we seem to be holding at this stage. We have had stakes mature, big OG stakes mature, like the people that have been staking for 800 days, that kind of thing. And then, of course, some of them have sold down, so we've had to have a bit of that in the mix there, and so forth. So now we're at 11 cents. So we're doing okay at this stage. Obviously, people would like to see the price higher. But on that occasion, we're also, if we go to nomics.com, we're actually, if we look at the yearly, we're still, Hex is still up on the yearly chart, still up 176% there. So that's pretty good. And in good company there with Solana, as well. So that's not too bad. And a lot of the others are, are kind of red for the most part, except for PNB there at the moment. So not too bad with the Hex there. And of course, being down at support is a good buying opportunity, right? Because obviously it's a 2-for-1 deal at the moment. You buy one Hex, you're going to get one on Pulsechain. And now there is the issue around price split. Some people I've heard say, "Oh, when price split's not a good model," or stuff like that. Well, I think price split's a pretty good model because we're getting 2-for-1, right? Now I expect a run up, but of course it just depends on how Richard gamifies the run up to the Pulsechain. So if he's happy, if the devs have said, "Yeah, we've got it." We're happy to launch now. We've got our staging set for the launch, the phases that they want, how they're going to roll it all out. And of course, if you've watched some other teams, you may have seen people do rollout projects before who are dev teams doing live feed. That I've watched a few myself. It's always a bit of fun, and it takes a few hours sometimes. But things like that, and also having DevOps, having the right amount of computing power for all the load that they're going to be expecting, stuff like that. Having to ramp up validators once it's launched, doing AMM bot, ramping up partners, a lot of work to do, setting all this up, and so we'll look forward to that. So, and then once he gets that, of course, once he knows that he's got confidence from his devs about all that, he can then, think about doing the gamification, which I imagine he's already had good thoughts about anyway. So we'll find out how he's going to do that. Are we going to get a couple of days notice? Will it be 3 or 4 days? Will it be 2 days? Will it be sort of almost a sudden announcement? We'll find out. I do think we'll probably get a few days, probably. And if we do that, any few days will give you a pretty good chance of a run up in the Hex price, in my view. And so, yeah, it could actually be quite dramatic as well. But that being said, of course, big money has not really been buying a lot. We saw a decent trade yesterday, but we're waiting for. There could be people that are waiting for a bit more news closer to the confirmation, so they have confidence. That confidence is a real big thing. Is Pulsechain tracking well? Is it going to be launching properly? And so far, we've just had delays, a few expectations that or inferments that haven't been gratified. So we're just got to wait for that. So at the moment, we're still seeing this in the price chart. That being said, of course, crypto market has also been down. So crypto markets also had an influence on the market. We can see that on a coin 360 with the current pullback, and of course, Bitcoin's not looking too. It keeps fighting around this 30k. The ETH is still around 2k. But this is still just struggling to move up. But at the moment, it's in a sweet spot. So yesterday we were down at 28,500, something like that. We're up 5% today, 30,000. So it's pretty positive to see that. So hopefully we might get a bit of momentum back in the Hex chart there too, just giving a bit of support as we wait for Pulsechain. But yeah, the chart seems very dependent on Pulsechain on the Hex chart there. But like I say, people like to pay higher prices too. So maybe when the prices start going up, people will start paying higher prices on that. At the moment, this is a pretty good price. Once we get down to here, right down to support though, there's always the fear of it breaking down, right? So why pay 10, 11 cents if you can pay for 8 cents or 5 cents and get a way more volume, right? That's the kind of thing that people are saying. But we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it in 76 days. Obviously, we're down there again, so the fear's back in. And like I say, fear can be a good way of DCAing. Even if you think it's going to go down to 8 cents or 5 cents, it may not go down there, right? And it hasn't so far in 77 days. And of course, one OG could do it if they've got a big enough bags. Maybe they could do it, but apart from that, we haven't really seen it challenging this area. The thing I would say is that we haven't seen a lot of big money come in. We saw, like I say, a decent buy yesterday from memory. So if we go to Whalebot, we had a decent buy yesterday. I think it was about 700,000, something like that. I think that was in yesterday. We'll just scroll back. We had some big sellers, of course. Let's scroll back here. I think it was up, down a bit further. Yeah, so this sort of buy here. So 210, 216, so 400. So that's a better amount of buy. 630. So that there's like $1 million. So that's kind of a much better level of buy. So it's nice to see some of those come in. Now I'm not doing chain analysis on all the wallets that are buying and selling, but that's a pretty positive just on the face of it. You know, that's pretty cool. So let's have a look at today's activities on Whalebot. We had a big stake end after 60 days. We had 1.3 million bought, so that was cool. So that's 138,000. That was nice, and then 283 sold after that. So 4 hours later, 2.7, and then we had some more 2.1 sell 11 hours ago. So we're still getting those sellers in there. And then of course we had 190,000 bought, another 162,000 bought. So nice there, bit of ebbs and flows. Then we had some bit of selling. Then we had a bit of buying there, so a bit of a mixed bag there over the last 24 hours on the Whalebot. So to give a little bit of idea of some of the bigger accounts moving this price around at the moment. But we're at 10.89 cents. We'll see how we get on. Obviously, we want to get up to kind of that 14 cents. That gives us a bit more confidence in the price. People will start will look to buy a bit more. We saw a bit of buying in here. Saw a big buying in here. Obviously, with the markets pulling back over here. So, 14 cents, kind of that confidence line. Let's see how we get on. Now, obviously, moving forward in time, to get out of this descending triangle again, we need, prices maybe around about 16 cents to bust out of here. So we'll keep looking for that. These vertical timelines, 25th of May. We're currently on the 20th. Don't suspect that we'll make any of these, of course. And then by the purple one, we will probably looking into June launch now as the earliest as I can see it, unless there's unless after they ranked everything that they had to do work on with the values and other stuff or whatever else they were doing, and they can actually do that earlier. So if we get a surprise launch before the May, that'd be pretty cool. Otherwise, looking into June. But once again, we're not going to speculate until we get some good information from RH on that. So cool, VIP. Let's get into a couple of comments here. Hex Token, think tank believe that we need not to do anything, just invest in chill, says Nevin. Absolutely. This is accumulation phase, right? This is all these areas here between 10 and 11.5 cents. That's already been shown in the last 77 days, 76 days to be accumulation area there. So it doesn't look any different to me. Mainnet by 30th of May. Hopefully, says Bobfish King. Yeah, that's the purple line. We'll see how we get on with that. It's now says only need one more to hit 400 in Discord. Yeah, did we make it? We're still at 399. If you haven't joined Discord, links in the video description. We're just about to hit 400 members, so definitely get into there. DB Cooper says I'll be honorary for hashtag 400 on Discord. I don't use it, says DB. That's pretty funny, DB. Nevin, Gatham's in house there. It is better to wait and take care of the bugs. Was it better to wait and take care of the bugs than the mainnet developer found? Yeah, Richard does not want to give any chance to his critics to point a finger at him. Absolutely, Nevin. But the critics is the lesser point, right? The biggest thing is to have a working chain. So definitely that's the case. There's a lot of money riding on it. Hotter Generation said, woo-hoo-hoo. Hello, good to see Hotter Generation. Hotter Generation in the house. Rango in there too. Hey, everybody, good to see you. Nevin says, guys, spread the word and let us make our Superman bigger than Bitboy Crypto. Hey, I like that one, Nevin. Let's us onboard as many as possible. Absolutely. 100% agree with you, Nevin. Also, a bit more time to think about our strategies. That won't hurt. Yeah, that's true. Sure, mate, says Nevin. Yeah, you've got more time to play around with Pulsechain, the bridge, and testnet, and think about more strategies, watch more videos, get more insights, stuff like that. Probably the way to go. Thomas Turner says, hey, all, I thinking Thursday. Yeah, it is. Well, Friday here in New Zealand, of course. John Gibbons says, if we swap pre-bridge for Pulse, won't Pulse ratio be as though it had the market cap of Ethereum, meaning selling Pulse for PX would be a good ratio play? Correct me if math is wrong. Yeah, some people are saying that there, John. I know that Dylan from Fiat has argued that. So we'll find out, though. We'll find out. I definitely think that's probably the case for people that have sacrificed already. So that makes sense to me. Sand Beach and house there. Hello, everybody. Woo-hoo-hoo. We've got the emojis there as well. We all are Richard Hart family, and we support and thrive together no matter what, no matter our caste, creed, color, or religion. That's true. Or region, I should say. Yeah, that's true. I think you meant religion there, but region, yeah, for sure. Hey, Brennan, good to see you in the house there. The longer the base, the higher I'm spaced. I'm spaced. Beach said, did some, have you guys, if you've seen Ron Burgundy, you know how I like to read the comments in the chat? Have you seen Ron Burgundy? How he reads everything, that he reads everything off the prompter. It's a bit like me. I could end up, like I've done it in the past, I end up reading comments and go, oh, I shouldn't have read that comment or this or that. So it's a bit funny. I did some buying earlier today. Yay, nice one, Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach in to save the day. Yeah. Nice one. And the DBQ says, my math is awesome. Government institutions told me 2 + 2 = 5. That's true. In a week's time, I'll get excited again, says Dave Down Under. Yeah, I think probably another week's time, people might get excited. Thomas Turner says, got me some 2 Sandy. The chance at 10 was good for me. Yeah, 10's a pretty good price. I'm hoping, well, I've got some funds coming in, and I'm hoping that it stays this low as well for a couple more weeks, because that would suit me perfectly fine. I thought I was going to miss out, but this might, if I'm lucky, it might play just in time. Devin says, John, personally, I will do nothing and stay away from ratio trading unless it's very favorable. Yeah, that's probably true. So yeah, people are saying if you got a cost price of Pulse, then you could ratio trade into Hex, which does seem a logical thing to do there. But I do think that because of the value price up. But of course, we don't know what people are going to do there with the ratios, so it's going to be a bit crazy. John and Gibbons in the house said, yes. If you're new, considering anything other than holding for the first bit after launch, then good luck on getting wrecked. Yeah, not getting wrecked. Yeah, that's true. I think ratio trade is going to be very, 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 very dangerous there. Jay Pond says dangerous is probably the wrong word. Risky. Let's use the word risky. 8 cents, please. Woo-hoo-hoo, says Jay Pond. Well, we've got the poll in the house there at the moment, so definitely fill out the poll. Where does Hex price go to next? And 12 cents or 8 cents. So we'll see what people think about that. Morning, Superman, J-Pon. Woohoo! Hey, good to see J-Pon. Tom's turning the house. Even if playing for a while, sit back. That's true. J-Pon there with the emojis, looking good. J-Pon with the cattle? What's the cattle there? Oh, bull market there. Bull market. You like that. David says, a week ago, we were at only nearly 20 cents. People would have sold their granny for 10 cents. X. Now that's here. People want 8 cents. Yeah. I think this can be the trap, right? The trap is that it gets back down to support level. We're back in the same scenario that we've been already, as I say, 12 times, 13 times before, and people don't buy, and then it's moved up consistently. Now, there's always a chance that it can go down, but it hasn't so far. In 13 goes, it's had 13 goes to go down. It hasn't so far gone down. 100%, John, you are bang on. And Tufon's in house there. Hope you're good, Superman. Yeah, I'm good, Tufon. It is morning here, so I'm still, on the wake up. But I got my coffee. I've had about half of my coffee. You probably noticed in the second live stream, I always have a bit more energy. That's probably just because of the time of day. It's just not more of an evening night person myself, so this is how we roll. Tin Top says 2 for 1 and $10 for $1 and 10 for $1. What else we got going there? Good look here. Smash those likes, peeps, says KD. There was 300 million BTC moved to Coinbase. We should see. Moved to Coinbase. Well, that's interesting. They're looking to sell that. Is what you think is happening there, Top Turner? That's going to be interesting. Who's not on Discord yet? Yeah, let's see. With Discord, we hit 400. Now we're still at 399. Oh well, we'll see whether we can. If you haven't joined Discord, join Discord. Links in the video description. Hex Token says, Sandy, I'm still getting through the top 25 passive income projects. So far, so good. Excellent video. Hey, Sandy, I think that was a really good video. Now, remember, that video was an introduction. So it was kind of a summary there. I made a few comments on some of the stuff that I felt that this is one here we're talking about. I made a few comments. There's a few projects that, I made some, hit first impression comments, and that's typically what you do when you, do YouTube. You're making first impression stuff. So there's definitely more due diligence to be done. And so hopefully I made that clear. But I do think there's a couple of projects in there that will really struggle to perform. But I'm not going to, I don't think I kind of said a few comments, but you can make it up your own mind on those. I think there's a lot of good quality projects in there. So you know, in this list here, I think there's got a lot of good quality projects in there. Now the question is, how many of these would outdo Pulse or something like that? So I just don't think. I don't think there's maybe one or two in here that are competitive. Maybe with Pulsex, possibly. Pulsex does well, but doesn't quite do what a Super Dex does in terms of challenging the native token. But I suggest that a few of these are interesting. It's good to have a bit of diversification, I guess, if you call diversifying on the same ecosystem. But yeah, it's certainly sometimes like I've sacrificed for internet money. That's my riskiest play I've done. I really like the leader and the team. Sounds like they're in place. They've got a roadmap, but the timeline's still an issue, right? The delivery timeline. I sacrificed for liquid loans, and I think that's easily the best one out there. But of course, they will face. There are some other ones here like that may end up doing quite well. So yeah, a lot of these big ones, the Power City, the Mintra, these are all pretty big projects. There's a lot of big stuff on there. Then there's a lot of riskier ones on there too. You guys can make up your mind, but I did do a nice, cool summary video there on the top 25 passive income projects there. And really, the focus was really about what the passive income was, so what tokens they're giving. So if you go through the list there, you'll see what tokens they're giving, and you can decide yourself whether you think it's going to be really good. I always think that one of the biggest things is to say, are enough people going to adopt this? Do they have the setup to get enough people to adopt it? And will it sustain itself over a long period of time? Those are some of the questions you got to ask yourself. And I think some of these clearly I would be questionable about in terms of those sort of standards, but you can decide for yourself. Yeah. Cool. Right, cool. And also, if there's any more, if you've got any more projects that are not on the list that aren't really crappy, then let us know in the chat there. Why does it not show? Are we got to refresh? Let's have a look here. Let me refresh. 399. Yeah, it doesn't show all the way there. 401. I wonder why it does not show right away. I'm not sure why it doesn't. That's 399. 399 still. Maybe that will update in a minute there. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Right, so we're just under 11 cents at the moment on Hex price. Rango's in house. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Crypto Gogonals in house says, do you have any thoughts on why Maxi is trading such a high premium against Hex? I think it's just the scarcity, Crypto Gogonal. I think it's the scarcity and the fact that a lot of people that sacrifice are long-term holders. They actually believe in the long-term holding. That's probably the reason, Crypto Gogonal. Let's get on to the other prices. Okay, this is what we've got coming at the moment. And there we'll probably end up deleting the yellow line. I don't think we'll be launching then, but we'll just leave it there for another day. You just never know your luck, right? Because that's your hoping there. But anyway, that's where we go to. All right, let's scroll out there. We're going to close out that and put in the X prices. So we've got obviously the X here on the hour. That's the daily. We're going to show the hourly here. We're going to zoom up that actually. That is the hourly at the moment. So we were up 12.2 cents. We've come all the way down to 10.14 here on this particular chart as the same USD pair. And of course, we're currently at 10.96. So trying to get back over 11 cents at the moment is where we're at to. On the Hedron here, so I'm going to full screen this on the Hedron. We are out. This is on the daily now. So the previous Hex one was an hourly. On the daily one here, we had our big run up. So we had, this big 12x run up here. And then, of course, we came down. That was in like 8 days. Then we came down. We had a little bit of a relief rally there. And then, of course, we've come down into the zone. We've been in the zone pretty much for a long time. But we have got a slightly lower level here. So we are slowly drifting down here. We had a low of 976. Can you believe it? Under 1,000 for the first time in a long, long time. So we had that support there. So support got pretty much broken there on the support. We were pretty much below 1,000, but we're back over again 1,064. So that's kind of, let's call it a spike for the moment, but definitely testing the support here. And I'm going to put the support at 1,000. So that support's at 1,000 there. Make sure that's fairly lined. So we've got the support level there at 1,000, and that's kind of been there for quite a while. So a few weeks on that one. So let's just see how that goes on Hedron. I do like Hedron. I do think that it could have its, it probably will have its day in the sun. Also held by, I think all of these are held back by Pulsechain. It's probably the waiting for Pulsechain. They're all tied into the excitement. Obviously, people are getting copies over on the ETH chain to Pulsechain, and of course, if you're on BNB chain projects, or getting the airdrops. So Maxi at the moment, 17 point. Let's have a look at Maxi. 17 point. I'm going to zoom on that too. 17.58 cents, and we, it's not too bad. Versus Hex, which is around 11. Let's have a look at the premium. We're going to have a look at the premium now. Let me just get rid of this comment here. Sorry about the comments. Sometimes I forget that they're there. So 60%. So we're definitely, premiums definitely pulled off there. We were up at 80% yesterday. 80% premiums, so definitely cooled off there, but at 60%. This was my old idea. I thought that might get to 40% and then people start selling, as it did better than that. Got the highest day, it got up to 233. So it's pretty crazy stuff there. So 130% premium, and they were at 60% premium at the moment. So still holding out pretty well. Like I say, I think it does have a bit of a scarcity play on it. So that's probably plays in its advantage for Maxi. Pulsechain there, we're currently sitting at PLSD, I should say, the meme coin, Pulsechain coin, which is still in its 100-day launch phase, remember, so you can still claim it if you had Hex stakes before the 20th of April. So if you haven't claimed it, you can still claim it. This is doing very well. This is like Maxi. This is performing really well, and this is a good sign of good product design, even amidst market pullbacks and volatility and Pulsechain delays. This is still performing really well. $2.40. Man, oh man, this is a pretty good product. And this is an airdrop. Remember, this is printing money out of nothing. I mean, crypto does that all the time, but this is particularly doesn't have particular utility. It's just a meme coin. So yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. And of course, $2.40. Now this obviously it's very rare. And of course, it's probably about 240, right? 240. There was 4 million the other day. So let's have a look at Pulsechain. We're going to pull this over and of course have a look at the launch phase here. 70 days to go. It's a 100-day launch phase, 70 days to go. And that's not too bad. 70 days to go. We're going to jump out of there and we're going to go out of there. We're going to pull up our favorites here so that we can go and have a look at the details. So we're going to go Pulse Dodge. We're going to go to the contract. We're going to see how much is around. So there's 4,138,000 Pulse Dodge. This, I think, what some people might call it unit bias, or particularly that's typically around how many decimal places is my understanding of unit bias. But it does have a scarcity play with the total number there. I guess it's a kind of a unit bias in some ways. We got the contract here. Scroll down. We've got the number of claims here, 17,478. So 17,478 divided by, let me just rephrase that, 17.478 divided by 91, for example. That's just my estimate. That's about 19.2%. So getting close to 1 in 5 accounts that are staked, that have claimed. So that's pretty good. But of course, far less holders, which means there have been a lot of sellers. A lot of those sellers have probably put it into Hex or done something else with it. So cool, but it's still pretty scarce. Remember, maximum is 12 million, and there is 4,138,000. Maximum is 12 million there, so it's well short of that. Still 70 days to go until that finishes, that launch phase finishes. So pretty interesting stuff there. In fact, let's pull up Hedron because Hedron's getting pretty close into its 100-day phase as well. Now we did jump the gun. Oh, not the Bitcoin market. Do Hedron. Hedron here. So Hedron is 7 days to go to get a 2x bonus at the moment. So there's only 17 days to go in Hedron's launch phase, counting down 2x bonus and the volume bonus at the moment. Goes down to 1x and then it's going to drop off after 10 days. So 17 days to go. Really is going to be interesting to see what happens to Hedron, even though we've just passed by that. So yeah, $2.40. How much put PLSD in the pool? 48,382 in this one, and liquidity is relatively low, 160,000, but they're holding up pretty nicely on the price there. Woohoo! All right, cool, well done. I'm going to jump out of there, and we're going to go back into the dexes. So that is all the main tokens on the Ethereum chain for the Hex related tokens. We're going to jump over to BNB. In BNB, we've got Pulse Dodge coming up at still pretty much the same, just under 9/10 of a penny here. After having a bit of pullback, nice bit of a green day at the moment. And of course, Pulse Dodge is going to have the NFT auctions on Pulsechain when it launches. I think it's 5 NFTs a day with those cool artwork that they've got. So it's going to be fascinating to see that. We got P33, part of Free Pulse, which is obviously Free Pulse looks like it's doing super successful at onboarding. Something like 100 to 150,000 kind of people that have hit that site, somewhere in that ballpark, which is pretty impressive. And of course, this is currently trading at 42.75 cents. This is very volatile, though, right? They're all linked to BNB, so they do, follow the BNB line there. BNB, they're currently at $306, so it's nice to see it over $300, but still it faces the volatility there. And of course, these will get airdropped over to Pulsechain as opposed to copied because they're not on the ETH network. So it's 42.75. And the teams is what the team have signaled to. So that's 42 cents there. We got IMD is here as well. Of course, this is Internet Money Dividend and IM Internet Money. So Internet Money is on BNB. Also there, it's having a bit of a recovery today. So 14.39. This might be a little bit of a speculative play. Had a big run up. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Pretty interesting stuff there. It looks a little bit like a Maxi chart, doesn't it? With the run up there. Boom, 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 boom. 3 goes at that. Let's actually pull out the Maxi chart again. Not the Maxi chart, sorry, the Hedron chart there. Let's pull that up because it kind of looks a little bit like that. And we'll pull it up there. Okay, not quite the same as that, but it kind of has these multiple day candles in there on this one at the moment. So not quite the same, but it has multiple day candles where it was trying to fight to stay up at this level. So it tried to do that for a couple of days in a row, 4 days. And of course, if we jump to a BNB, it had that struggle, but over a longer period of time, trying to do that. So, I've really flooded that channel. I've really flooded that chart, haven't I? Let me just reset this again. I have to wait for that to reset. Hopefully that does it. Boom. All right. So yeah. Okay. So I did the same thing, but over a long period of time. But I had 3 spikes in there as opposed to Hedron. So interesting stuff there. That's pulled off quite a bit, this may gain some momentum if the crypto markets stay up there. But I would say that's still pretty vulnerable. If you think that the crypto markets are vulnerable. If you think that they're going to go down to full bear market, BTC goes down to 11, 12K or something like that, 10K, then that's still quite vulnerable at this stage though. The market BTC is a long way from that. 30K. Now I do know that there's a big discount on the grayscale there with the I think it's something like a 30% discount to BTC. So a lot of people could just buy the units of the grayscale rather than buy the BTCs, but at the moment BTC is still holding up on the spot market. So cool, good times. This is kind of the sweet spot for Pulsechain launch for me. Not too big values, in other words, distracting from Pulsechain. Not too negative values, in other words, not being able to price Pulsechain up fast to high asset values. Otherwise, you have to wait over time, right? If you think about it, if you've got low asset values, you have to wait over time for asset values to build up, which is all good. But if you want the bigger asset value appreciation, it's nice to have it in a shorter period of time. It's kind of the way I look at that, especially with so many volatile things happening around, not just geopolitically, but with the economies, global economies, and agendas that are out there at the moment. So cool. That is what's happening there. All right, so that's a bit of a wrap up on the markets there. Let's see what people have been saying in the chat there. We're going to jump back to the Hex price here. We'll leave it on that, on the Hex chart there. We might turn this into an hourly chart. Pull that up. That's on the hourly there, on the Hex. It's kind of cool. What else we got going there? I can't remember where I was up to, so we'll have to find out where I was up to. I think I was way past all this stuff here. I think we talked about the premium there. I think I did comment on that. I think we talked about Sandy's comment. We talked about Cryptogonal's one there. Thomas Turner says DCA is the way, along with this time. Yeah. So when you're in doubt, you can always dollar cost average in. In other words, do a little bit. Maybe you got $2,000. You can always do 500 here or 500 there. Obviously, Ethereum gas fees, you've got to time those if you're going to do that sort of thing. Make sure that the fees cost is a bit lower. What happens with my staked Hex after the new coin changes life? Do I still have it staked on the new chain? Or how do that work? So tea and toast, you will have staked Hex. If you got it on Ethereum, you'll get that copied over to Pulsechain. You'll have 2 copies, one staked Hex on Ethereum chain and one staked Hex on Pulsechain. And of course, you can already access the testnet for Pulsechain, Go Hex, and of course, it will show up as sample only here if you're on the Pulsechain testnet. So see testnet V2B. And it will show up your stakes, and your stakes will be down the bottom here, looking something like this. So yeah, definitely you can do that. Yeah, and you just switch over your MetaMask or whatever wallet you're using between Ethereum and Pulsechain, and you'll see your stakes on either side. Pretty cool, eh? And it includes your liquid. So if you've got liquid Hex, it will get copied over as liquid Hex on Pulsechain. So you get 2 for 1 deal at the moment. So 2 forms of passive income. Pretty good deal. So yeah, Hex token, is that a spider mug? It is a spider mug. It is a spider mug. There is a spider mug. Look at that spider mug. Oh, I can't see. There's a spider mug. There it is. That's better. That's a spider mug. Well done, Sandy Beach. Hey, we're up to 10.96 cents. John Gibbons says if ETH to Pulse is 1,000x difference, then Pulse must take its price ratio from ETH, aside from the US dollar cost and Sapphiros, which is different for everybody. CJ's in the house there. Woo-hoo-hoo. We got Rango and Krika just joined Discord. Not sure why it doesn't show right away. Let's have a look at that. 403. Woohoo! We did it. Woohoo! We did it. Yay. Over 400 Discord members. Woo! Party. Yeah. Oh, we actually, yeah. I might fix that up. Yeah, 400 Discord members. Bam. All right, cool. We're going to put in Heinz Crypto as well to get Hex and Heinz Crypto in the house. Cool. We got that going. Party. Hit 400. Nice. Well, all right. Very cool. All right, so that's great. So we hit 403 members. So 400, that's really cool. And next target, of course, is 450. That's how we roll. And of course, so the main point of the Discord is for community and information, to have all the information in one place so that people can just go there for that. So those are the 2 things for the Discord there. Definitely get in. If you haven't joined Discord, of course, we've got the YouTube syndicate. So we've got Gen Hex, Heinz Crypto, and Hex Token channel as syndicated on this channel. You get their YouTube channels and their Twitter notifications. Also, there's useful links here. So we've got everything. We're going to have, I'm adding a lot more links to this today. We're going to have everything around Hex. So you've got everything, layman's guides, contract addresses, staking sites, audits, Pulsechain, PulseX for testnets and live when it goes live. You've got the Sacrifice checker apps, General, Tron, Theta, Richard Hart, market stuff there. You've got limit orders, so matcher 1 inch. If you want to do limit orders, aggregators, spread them across your sales across the pools or buys across the pools. We've got the Rinkbeat Ethereum test network if you want to play with the Pulse ramp. The Ethereum, the official Pulsechain bridge, you're going to need some ETH on that testnet. We've got the derivative projects, Hex derivatives like Hedron, Hedron staking, Maximus, onboarding tools there. So stake Hex, Hex Scout. Now this is going to be a lot more of these. So I'm going to have a lot more of these in here today. Adding those in. It's going to be, if you want to learn everything about Ethereum, obviously Pulsechain is the first system stake copy of Ethereum. If you want to see how big Ethereum is, you can see all the total wallets, the Uniswap statistics. They're all here. If you want to do your own, have a look at that. There's lots of charts and information there. And of course, there's also YouTube streamers. If you want to see, the 100 or so YouTube streamers, I think there's tons of them now. You can see them on PulseTube, Hex streamers. And finally, if you want to get into some of these Pulsechain projects, they've got sacrifices. There's the link to the sacrifice page there as well. But once again, we're going to be expanding there. We've got video tutorials on Pulsechain and Pulsex. If you want to do the bridge in Pulsex, do those tutorials. There's obviously Richard Hart token chats. So this is the general one, general chat there. And, you can do that. So you can do that. You also got price chats there. If you want to talk about prices and get charting and trading and lots of stuff. There's new crypto chat. Of course, you want to talk about maybe, cars or movies or whatever. You can talk about that. General voice chat. There's Pulsechain projects. You can talk about new projects here, maybe risky ones, airdrops, things like that. You can do that. And of course, new token links there. We've got trying to keep a pretty comprehensive list of all the projects coming on the Pulsechain that are new to Pulsechain pretty much. So getting into that. If you're Hex Token channel member, there's a special channel private chat for you. And of course, if you're Hex Token channel member, you also get a purple name as opposed to a blue name, which is a standard name for there as well. So pretty cool. There's bots as well. So if you want to do bot calls about prices and gas fees, you've got bots here. Particularly HODL is a good bot there for that. So cool. Nice one. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, so let's get on to that. I'm going to give some party on that one. Nice. All right, so let's jump over to the price there. We're going to leave it there for a second. We're 51 minutes in, so just trying to balance it out there. What time is it? 12:06. So probably in 10 minutes we'll have the daily Hex stats as well. I'm still not sure I understand the fixer bot and how it derives the ratios. I'm assuming it's ETH or the sacrifice price in USD. So John, so what the fixer bot's going to do is going to harvest the PRC20 copies of Ethereum, and of course it's going to swap those over with Pulse. So it's only going to do the ETH pairs, the Ethereum pairs. So that's what it's going to do. There's still a few unknowns, so there's going to be a lot of AMM bot pairs. It's going to take those. It's going to swap over Pulse for those, and then it's going to lock those into new LP pools. So it's going to essentially own the LP pools, and then that's going to be in Pulsex. So imagine it taking it from one pool, harvesting that pool, the copy of PRC20s, and then putting it over into Pulsex, and then having the LP, so that the LP provision, the liquidity provision, can't be rugged, can't be rug pulled. That's kind of the way I understand it working now. So cool. Yeah, so it's got to be the ETH ratio to Ethereum, because it's like 120 million Ethereum. So it's going to be like a 1.2 million Pulse versus Ethereum. And so they have to do that by 1,035 multiplication and division, which if you square those two, you multiply them together with each other, you're going to get 1.2 million to 1. So that's how they do that for the ratios. Obviously, that raises a lot of questions about pairs on Ethereum that aren't ETH pairs, right? So that's where there's been quite a bit of gamification. I know that Jesse the Pit Boss has talked about optionality in terms of getting good deals with those. But I do think that those those have issues around liquidity when you're getting over to Pulsechain. So there's pros and cons to that sort of strategy. What else we got in there? All right, so just bought some Hex gas fees very cheap, says Rubber. Let's go on to that, and let's have a look at the gas fees. Gonna check that out. So nice one on the pickup there, 21. So gas fees pretty reasonable at the moment. So yeah, Hex at not 10.9. So nice little place to pick up DCA into Hex, and the gas prices are fairly reasonable. You see how a poll's going on. 92 votes. Okay, we're going to close. If we get to 100 votes on the poll, we'll close the poll. And where does X price go to next? 12 cents or 8 cents. So smash out the poll, folks, if you're new. And we'll see where we can get to 100. Blue's in the house there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice one, Blue. Brent Swarmer says, I see only Fiat having equal upsize potential to PLS. Yeah, Benchwarmer, I think you're probably right. I do think liquid loans and Fiat are the two premier ones in my view. So I would add liquid loans to that because they had a pretty massive hit up there, and I think that because they're starting with the beginning of the chain, they could rise up that value pretty quickly. So yeah, Fiat. I do think Fiat has more work to do for what I see so far, but of course I'm sure they'll come out at the end with some cool stuff there. Yeah, I think those are the premier. Fiat, which is a fork of Arvo, we talked about yesterday and the day before, I think. And of course, liquid loans seem to be the two big third-party dApps, and they're the big lending ones. That's why, and lending's where a lot of money's to be made. A lot of people use that, and like Fiat also opens up a whole ton of new stuff. Margin, potential basic margin trading, basic stuff. Potentially interest rate swaps, currency swaps, collateral swaps. There's a lot of derivative plays off lending platforms that I think Fiat will open up, and more so than liquid loans. But I wouldn't get liquid loans as issuing a stable coin, so there's quite a bit of differences there. But I do think that liquid loans are going to be adding a lot more to the ecosystem as well. So I don't think they're just stopping their basic platform. They're going to be off looking at a lot of other services. That could include fiat on-ramps to exchanges, relationship with exchanges, things like that. So it's going to be, we're going to have a lot of value added from these two platforms. But liquid loans is a much bigger team. So we'll see where all it heads off there. Both of them pretty complementary to each other. Quay at the 20 cents. Woohoo! Yeah. All right, so let's have a look here. So what do we got here? Brendan says RH fixing on us with his new PLSD cards. That's pretty funny, Brendan. Yeah. Actually, have we got any pictures of those? I think we might have. Let's jump over to Richard Hart, see what he's been up to. Postcard there. What else we got? Jump through some of this. Oh yeah, so just a teaser for now. So it looks like got some cars there, or I'll show you some more. So he's doing some bit of hex flexes with that. It's got all his Rolexes out as well. So cool, some nice colors in there. He's got 4 cases now. Remember, I'm sure he used to have 2 cases. Now he's got 4 cases worth of watches. Yeah, I like the red one. The red one's cool. Green's cool too, but red's kind of my color. Cool. Let's jump over to the price there. So 10.9 cents there on Hex. We'll probably pull that up there. We've got Michael A in the house here. Hi people, hope you're all doing great. We are doing great. We've got the Hex stats coming out in a couple of minutes, so we're going to talk about that. Kevin S in the house. Hey, Hex Token, long time no chat. Love the low Hex. I want to buy more. Yeah, definitely a good price to DCA in at the moment. And like I say, people that come later have to pay the higher price. When Pulsechain launches, that won't be a 2-for-1 deal. So people will have to buy Hex separately, by itself, and Hex on Pulse separately. So eHex and pHex is kind of the way. Kevin says Maxi is great to buy if you're thinking about any 5 stakes any during that calendar year 2037. Absolutely, Kevin. Michael A says I'm good, thanks TT. Thomas Turner, nice. Scotty's in the house. Woo! Hey Scotty, good to see you. Brazil says according to the poll, we've got a bunch of glass and silver here. 97. We need 3 more votes. 3 more votes to close off the poll. So if you haven't done the poll, smash that poll out. And of course the poll is what does Hex price go to next? I got the word "got" there. Apologize. 12 cents or 8 cents. Brazil says according to the poll, we got a bunch of glass half full and half empties. Yeah, true that. It's a binary question. It's binary, Chris. It's binary. Thomas Turner says half cup camp. Yeah. Half camp says get cup full says Sandy Beach. Yeah, I like Sandy Beach. Astrid in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. And Confucius say, those who believe in the code of Hex and don't waver will be handsomely rewarded. I like that. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. State Hex. Dingle Wolf in the house there. Nice. What else we got? Low. Wow, 50-50 blue. Yeah. I only want it to go down just to buy more, but then rock it up to 20 plus as soon as possible. I like it. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. Definitely do that. Smash out those likes on the channel there. If we've got 51 likes, we can do better than that, surely. So definitely do that. Superman, the Hex legend. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Hey, Pulse about it. Appreciate it. Big shout out. Peace and Instagram love, as we say. I just added on Instagram love. There's no need to. I just say love, but it's funnier when I say Instagram love. I should say Instagram model love because that's even funnier. Something funny about that. I voted low. Lol. Opportunity to buy more, says Monica. Hi everybody. Hey Monica, good to see you. Hey, I understand people like to buy lower, but will it go lower? That's the question. That's the question we all ask. Katie's in the house there with the spiders. Katie. Off topic, Mo, how bad is a glass of bourbon? That is off topic. We'll jump through some of that. Thomas says, nice management says party on. It does. Nice. Pumpkin Owls in house. Hi from Oatman, Arizona area. Lots of donkeys roaming around here. All left over from the mining days. That's funny, man. That's funny. In moderation. Yeah. Crypto Gorgonal says, hey, Simon, I haven't really heard anyone talk about potential risks at launch. What are some of the things that could go wrong? Oh, man, just everything that you can think of could go wrong. Maybe there's some code bugs that could be a real problem. Maybe they're fixable, maybe they're not fixable. I guess they're once the code's up and running, they should have certain access to things if you're going to run a blockchain. But we will see. Operational risk is always the biggest one, and of course we've still got operational risk even after the sacrifices. We've still got operational risk of it running, the actual chain running. Apart from that, just anything. I guess the AMM bot running has been pretty smooth. I think that doesn't seem to be too difficult. Having enough server power once it's up and running, so the code looks good, the code's running well, but you got to have enough server power to handle volumes, I guess. Getting the validators ramping up to 33 is not without its own challenges. We've seen that when testnet. What else? Liquidity. If you think about it, liquidity, having adequate liquidity, although I'm fairly confident we will do, not just from potential war chest from the sacrifices, but also from large VCs and large investors and things like that. So yeah, I think that's probably some of the bigger ones there. Killer Craig's in house. Will I get a copy of my Qcoin and BNB? If you've got stuff on, if you've got stuff on exchanges, I would get your stuff off exchanges. So just be careful. If you've got stuff on other chains, if it's not on the ETH chain, basically, if you haven't got it on the ETH chain and into a wallet address that you own the keys to, you probably won't be getting that, right? So if you got it on an exchange, get it off the exchange, because the exchange will get the copy. They own the layer 1 token that you deposited, so you've got to basically get your tokens off and into a wallet. So yeah, if you want to be part of the biggest airdrop in crypto history, you need to have your assets in an Ethereum address that you control the keys to, basically. So just take that into account. Good question, Killer Craig. CD says the low is in, calling it right here, says CD. Yeah, well, we've keep bouncing, like I say, 13 days in the last 76 days. We have hit 10 cents. We hit just under 10 cents twice, and one of those was a bot trade front run. So yeah, 10 cents does seem to be the price floor. We have a lot of psychological support. The only way I've seen that being breached is by a very large seller, and I'd suggest that even if we had that, we would get quite a bit of a buy up there. So it's not inevitable that we go down. It's not inevitable we don't go down, but we have held that pretty well for 76 days, 13 attempts to move lower, and it's all held above 10 cents more or less. Let's have a look here. Some other comments here. James Bond in the house. Hey, James Bond. Woo-hoo. Hello. Woo-hoo, everybody. I think we might be up to 100 by now. Yeah, 102 votes. Nice one. So we're going to end the poll. Let's see what our final numbers are. The poll is ridiculous. Look at this poll. This poll is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, really? Where does the Hex price go to next? 12 cents or 8 cents? We've got 102 votes. We've got a 50-50 split. That's funny, man. You guys are funny out there. That's so crazy. Look at that. That is hilarious. 50-50. Have we? I don't think we had one like that. Have we? Have we had a poll like that? I don't know. I don't remember that. That's funny, man. That's funny. 50. We got half a cup full, people, as Briz says. We got a people cup full. That's just the way it goes. That's pretty hilarious. Polynesian is in the house there. Morning, bro. How you going to see a Polynesian Pulsechain? And James Bond in the house with the emojis, looking cool. Sandy Beach, I like red cars. I like red cars too. Me too. Superman says, can you give a quick Hex OA Addy summary? Says Hex GT. Addy summary. What do you mean by that? How many wallets and things like that are in it? Are you just talking about the addresses? If you want to get, I can do better than that. If you want all the details, they're all in here under useful links. I'm not sure what details you want about the OA, but we've got all the contracts in here. So if you go to useful links on Discord, you can see the main Hex address there. You can see the Origin account address there. You can see the Flush address there. You can see the audits here. So I don't know what you mean. You talk about all the daughter addresses and stuff like that. Then you need to go to the work of the accountant. Oh, excuse me. I estimate that the OA's probably got about 8% of the staked amount. That's just an estimate based on not reconciling, but just an estimate there. Yeah, so we got here. Let me scroll up. Yeah, so Gunter the accountant's got the best work that I know of the OA. And I know he's not that public anymore though. He doesn't do too much stuff, but yeah. Trying to find some of these. Yeah, so the OA, the estimate for Gunther the Accountant is the OA used to have about 13% staked, but I think that's probably after the stakes came out in November, December last year, and John Wick could have counted them. I think that's probably down at something probably around about 8 or 9%, maybe 8%, something like that. That's my estimate there based on that. So cool, Vip. Good question, though. Although it's best good to have some context around it. Time to stockpile USDC for the Hex swap when price takes the investors dip. Is it time to stockpile USDC for the Hex swap when price takes the USD? Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably a fair call there, CJ. What else we got going there? D-Base says anybody who believes 10 cents is the bottom for Hex must not believe in the $15,000 to $20,000 bottom for BTC. BTC down, BTC usually down, Hex. Well, typically they always say that Hex is decorrelated from crypto. It tends to react straight away, but then it does its own thing. So that'd be interesting to see that play out, D-Based. I'm open-minded on that, of course, but yeah. I see 3.5 cent Hex coming in, says CJ. So we've definitely got some people with the lower view. I definitely think that Hex is tied to Pulsechain. So that's true. So 10 cents is tin top. A cup a full, says Sandwich. True. Where's that money coming from, says CJ. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, smash the subscribe and hit the like button. Any price prediction on Hex day before launch? No. Hey, look, Polynesian, it's too difficult now. We've just seen too difficulty on what's happening, and of course nothing's played out that we thought would play out, Polynesian, so it's very different, I guess. Your guess is ours, says CJ. It's very difficult to guess what the price is going to be. I've seen lots of people commenting on the price, and they've pretty much all been wrong. So yeah, here we are down at 10 cents, and of course we're down here 13 times. So who would have thought that was going to happen? We managed to get up to 16 cents and then get up to 20 cents. We did break out our previous ascending triangle. We came back in. So yeah, it's very difficult to guess this. Pulsechain is having a huge impact on Hex perception of value, just the way it is at the moment. Obviously, the price has definitely been better at this range, so we'll see. Just have to wait and see. This will turn around pretty fast. I suggest that it depends on the way Richard gives us an indication of how it's going to launch. So if he does give us a couple of days indication, then we could see some big jumps in the Hex price. And even 10 cent days. I've said this a couple of times, so we could see a pretty quick. I can't even say the words. Pretty quick rise in the Hex price there. So from this base here, we might see something like 25 cents or 35 cents, somewhere in that ballpark. We could see that depending on if Richard gives us enough days for that to play out. So definitely could be. If he gives us 2 days, that'd be something like that. We could maybe get up to 25 cents, maybe 35 cents, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe 28 cents somewhere. If we get more days, 3 or 4 days, we got more time to ramp up, so we might get in more surely into the 30 cent range there. So yeah, kind of where I feel that would go. We could get, like I say, 10-cent days though. But so far, everything's pretty much been retail driven. We've had only a couple of decent buys. Like yesterday, we had that $1 million buy. Apart from that, we haven't seen a lot of big money. It's really been retailers buying and selling. So I know many people that watch this channel have been buying. So it really is kind of the retail book. So yeah, we'll see. We need time. Rich needs to give us a couple of days. 3 or 4 days is kind of ideal. We could see quite a decent pump. Long drawn out spiral, says CJ. I'm here, says D Money. Hey D Money, good to see you. And Alan Hackman's in the house. Good morning. Good morning to you, Alan. Very cool. Woo-hoo. All right, nice. Yeah. All right, cool VIP, as we say, cool VIP. What else we got going there? Hey, we're up to 403 members. 450 is our next target. Onwards and upwards. That's how we roll. Nice. Got the happy dance from Eric Crypto. What should we put on that? We'll do the we'll put the gold on that. How about the gold? Nice. All right, cool. How are we doing for time? 1 minute 10. We're up to 12, so we've got the Hex daily stats out. So let's refresh this. Whoa, big times, folks. Day 900. We are now on day 900. Can you believe it? Woo-hoo-hoo! Day 900, folks. That is cool. Now, remember, 1,095 days is 3 years of Hex. 1,095 days. So 195 days until Hex is 3 years. So that's pretty cool. And you know what? Not too far away from 2.5 years. Not too far away at all. So let's have a look at the results there. Day 899, hot off the press, and 19th of May. Price pretty flat from yesterday, 10.9 cents. We got the Hex T-share payout 6.1 today. Another great day. It's great seeing this over 6. Obviously, I think not going to be too far until we start getting 6.5, 7 payouts in a day. It's not too far away, maybe. The T-share rate there 2,382. Its T-share rates 221,834, up 5.8. We've had increases every day in the last 10 days. Obviously, day 9 was pretty small, but it increased every day. T-share rate is not going down, only up and to the right. And the T-share price is there 2,382. Now, if you buy it, if you do a 10-year stake, buy Hex, do a 10-year stake, it will only cost you a third of this price. So for that, so that's a lot, pretty good. Average stake length 6.64 years. So we're slightly off the all-time high there. APY 39.27%. Liquidity pool. Now, it's going to be interesting what the Origin account does with staking. We talked about Origin account before in terms of bridging stuff for liquidity pairs to tie the Hex and the Hex on Pulse and the Hex on Ethereum. Let's just call them PHEX and EHEX pairs together. It's going to be interesting to see if Origin wallet does anything around that. Sacrifice wallet, that sort of thing. Also suggest it will be, but of course it's going to also be interesting to see what happens with the APY on both chains and also the OA Sacrifice wallet staking if anything happens there. It's going to be interesting. Liquidity in the pool, 208 million Hex, and that's down from yesterday slightly. Liquidity pool is so there's probably been some changes in liquidity there. USDC 17.6 million and liquidity pool 2.7 million. So we do need some decent buys if you want to add to this liquidity pool. A couple of $1 million would get us back to 20 million, $2.5 million of buying would get us back there. Obviously at the moment we've got 207, 17.8. So just slightly higher than we were here. And slightly better. What else we got going there? T-shares up 3,800. We got 10,430,000 T-shares. So it's not too bad. Circulating supply was decreased. That's good. And stakes were increased. So that's cool. That's what we like to see. And what else there? Stake percentage, 9.32% of Hex's stake. Pretty low, but better than the last couple of days at 9.3. But that's pretty low, relatively speaking. Obviously, the lower the amount of percentage staked, the higher the APY, right? And of course, so you want APY not to be too high, not to be too low. Obviously, if we get down to like 1% staked, it would be like upwards of 169% return. All right. So as we get less people staked, the APY goes up. Obviously, there's a bit of an issue there, arguably, because you might lose economic momentum in the system. So it's a bit of a trade-off there We're currently I think we've been pretty much in the sweet spot. It's pretty interesting. 9.3 there. What else we got going there? Penalties just under 1 million, but we've had a good last 10 days been pretty good in penalties, with 7 out of the last 10 days being above 1 million. And of course, we had some terrific days, 9.2 million, 10.6. So if you're dedicated to Hex, you will definitely accumulate a lot of Hex. If you've got those T shares are decreasing in total numbers. The share rate is going up. Harder to get T shares, and the penalties are going to keep coming. Penalties are not going away. They're going to be pretty awesome over the years ahead. So it is the long game. If you're a long player, you should reap rewards in terms of volume. Obviously, price is expected to go up over time, but be volatile, right? Be volatile. You'll have to go through the price fluctuations as we have so far. I think the last 7 months has been interesting. Obviously, we've broken out of the doubling every 6 month type thing, but Pulsechain has been a big influence of that. What does Hex look like without Pulsechain once it's launched? Once Pulsechain is launched, it should be able to flourish even more on a cheap chain. So it should do pretty well, and I suspect that Hex on Ethereum should continue to do well. Also, obviously, most of the energy, most of the preference should end up being on the Pulsechain. So it's gonna be fun. Change total holders 411, and the current stake is 83. And total stake is 112, and current holders up to 91 there. 300,000 current holders. That's pretty cool. And the current stake is 94,582. This is our next milestone, heading up towards a 100,000 stakers. It's going to be pretty cool. Total holders will get up towards 500,000, so some cool milestones there. But really, the current stakers and the current holders are the key metrics there. Pretty good. And we're already at 6.116 Hex per T-share. And as Brazology knows, I love T-share payouts the most. Well, actually, that's arguable now. Apparently, there's a video going around where I say that Brazology loves the T-shares more than me. That might, Hex payouts per T-share more than me. This might be what it is there. Holder generation is, in my opinion, lowest to 6 cents until Pulse launch. After that, it's no bars. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good argument there, holder generation. Cryptogonals in the house there with the super sticker. Appreciate that. Big bow down from the good old Superman there. Thanks for what you do, Superman. I appreciate that. And look, we're going to keep going until we get to the end game. What's the end game? I don't know. It's something different. End game's different for each of us, but Pulsechain will be launching soon. Big shout out for that. Hi guys, 8, we're still live. 8, we're still live. Hey, Get Hex, good to see you in the chat. Sandy Beach in the house says, yes, we are still live to Get Hex. Patch in the end, says Get Hex. Nice. Yeah, we're coming up to an hour and 17 minutes. How we're doing for time? Pretty good. We'll probably keep going for up to an hour and a half, so we've got another 13, 12 minutes left to go. Eurasians in the house says, so everybody is so bearish about Hex. Yeah, that's typically a good time to buy, right? That's why I say buy when there's fear on the streets. But you know how people roll. Once the price is up at the higher price, they like to play higher prices. Just the way it goes. I think the Pulsechain delay and recent stuff has impacted a lot of people's psychology. But like I say on this channel, what do I say? Consistency. Just keep being consistent, and you'll be fine. If you see good price opportunities, DCA. You don't have to spend all your money. If you think it's going to go down to 8 cents, you can buy a bit at 10 cents. And of course, like I said, it's held 10 cents for the last 76 days. It's only tested 10 cents 13 times, and it's only dipped under 10 cents slightly and briefly on 2 days. And one of those was a bot front run. So, I think, the chart's telling you something there. Eurasian says, is it time that it will become bullish since so much drama is out there? And also, if not, will it be a wise thing to swap Hex to USDC? To wait for a dip? Well, you can always do that, but once again, you don't get the copy if you've got USDC. You get USDC copy, but may not be worth anything on the other side. Brazil says lols. Now the other thing about this is that Richard's talked about. He's already said why people. If he was them, he's talked about. Why wouldn't you pick up Hex? You're gonna have good liquidity on you're going to have good liquidity on Pulsechain. With some of the other tokens, you may have you've got downside risk if the market does pull back. You've got downside risk also in terms of liquidity pools. So you've got to think about things like that too. Brazil says loss. Yeah. Stables, yeah, in all or you're out, in my opinion, yeah. Polynesian Pelskin says, love your channel, brother. Information overload. A lot bringing us some newbies up to speed. You're welcome there, Polynesian Pelskin. And that's really the purpose of the channel. I'm happy if it launches in June, just saying. Yeah, well, it's looking more and more likely that obviously Richard can always surprise to the upside. But I do think he has to, the devs have some work to do, so he wouldn't say it otherwise. So, yeah, not too bad. Look at this Gwei at the moment. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Look at that Gwei. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Look at that. Nice. It's not too bad at the moment. This is better than not. Of course, we've come off having very high Gwei prices. They reached very high the other day. So it's nice to have a bit of a reprieve and a good time if you want to finally pick up some Hex. Remember, sometimes when the Hex price pulls back, the Gwei price has been really high. People will say, oh, I want to pick up the Hex, but it's gas price is too high. Well, at the moment, the prices are relatively low and the gas prices are relatively low. So it's pretty good. And the market's holding up here at over 30,000 again. It comes back up. So cool. We are obviously still in bearish conditions. And some people are already, still calling a full bear market. In other words, down, maybe to 10 to 12,000 BTC, something like that. We do have a 30 something premium or something on the grayscale, I think. Discount, sorry. So it's still an issue as well. Nice. Let's pull up the charts one more time. And we got the Hex charts. Obviously, we're talking about Hex a lot, but Hex here on the daily. Having a nice little run up here at 11 cents now on the chart. 11.04. We've got Hedron at a 10.90. Definitely tested the 1,000 mark there. And we've got Maxi at 17.51. And the premium was about 60%. Pulse Dodge at $2.40. Hold it like a boss. Pulse Dodge coin has been like a boss. Holding up here at $2.40. Some crazy stuff for sure. And what else we got going there? I think that was it. Yeah, Pulse Dodge. We looked at that. Hex Day stats looking good. We got testnet. Now I did want to talk a little bit about testnet. Before we do that though, let's keep looking at the meme coins. We had just under 9/10 of a penny on Pulse Dodge. We're at 43 cents on P33, and we're at Alternate Monies at 14.93. So holding up all right there. Let's go to testnet. Testnet still running along here. 3-second blocks. 1.4 billion transactions, 16 million blocks on there so far. I do hope that they have a button when Pulsechain launches that people can just add the Pulsechain mainnet. I think Richard mentioned something like that. So hopefully they'll just have that where you can just click a button, just like you do on BSC scan. So where you just click a button, adds the mainnet to your networks. That would be easy. I'm sure they'll have that when they go to do that. And Pulsechain and GitLab, of course, where the devs are. This is the public side of the devs. Obviously, they have private folders, but the public side here, getting a little bit of updates. 14 hours. It's always hard to know what these are, whether they're just little text updates or something like that. But they're definitely putting little updates in here every so often. They've still got their issues board here. They've got 62 open issues apparently on here. 233 closed ones. So there's lots of different things in here. Invalid prices for assets and Uniswap V2. So this is what people say that they have. Sometimes it can always be user error. But some of the issues that come in here won't burn this liquidity pair, volume bonus appearing, uncorrelated ranking, pulse ramp transactions stuck invalidating issues, revolving liquidity, etc. There's lots of little things there. Sometimes some devs, you see little devs heads there. They get assigned to these some days. This is 1 day ago, updated 1 ago. So pulse ramp transaction stuck on validating. Click on some of those. You can see the devs here. Provide screenshots. This has been on. I've actually read this one before. Screen down at Ryan Block. I'm having the same issue. Someone else saying the same issue there. Graham 10 update. My transaction did eventually validate, but it took 10 hours. So interesting there. Some stuff going. Cool. Looks like 2 devs there, Brett and Agris. Now, I think there's about 12 to 14 devs, somewhere in that ballpark. Richard said it in a recent one. I can't remember which number that is, but that are working with Richard on different things. So cool. We got that going on. We got Pulse Ramp, the validators still ticking away there. David Feder, the boss, there were 223. I suggest that I think that Liquid loans will probably go to the top when we do launch. I think that's probably going to be the case, assuming people like the Hex Godwell and stuff like that, they stake, depending on what they do with their bags, whether they go validators or they, at least until liquid loans launches, you might see something like that happen with the volumes. But I suspect that we'll probably see a lot of these up the top here. David Feder, How to Pulse, Hodl Dog. It's going to be interesting playing out for those very popular people in the community. And we want a lot of dedicated people in the community to be validators. That's a very good support for the chain. So it's going to be cool. Mid-May, maybe not. Maybe not. That's funny. All right, so cool. We got stuff going there. The Pulsechain, of course, is still humming along, and we've still got a ratio of 3.45, one pulse to 3.5. If you look at the monthly chart, it's still pretty consistent there. So that even though the numbers are fictional, the trend may be illustrative of possibly some stuff. Of course, once again, when we get live charts, it's completely different. So it's going to be a crazy place there. Let's have a look at the burn, see what the burn is at the moment. We're ticking along. 46.43 billion burned Pulsechain so far. Pretty cool. How about the bounty on this one? 37 cents, so we'll leave that one. The info, let's have a look at the info. We've got a few things. The volumes, obviously, not many people playing on here at the moment. The volumes have really tapered off here. So not many people playing with the testnet. So definitely gives you a chance to do that. We've got the Pulse price at 0077. We've got Pulse X price at 0022. I think everyone would be pretty happy with these prices if that was the case. So yeah, this is kind of the top of my range. Not straight out of the gate, like within the first week, you might be able to see something else. There's a lot of selling pressure at the medium price, so 0001 on both Pulse and Pulse X, in my view. More so for Pulse X, in my view. But we'll see, because obviously people, there's larger holders with the bulk of the volume. They've got lower prices than 0001. So there's obviously a lot of contestability in there. That being said, of course, I do think that the demand to supply ratio in terms of wallets is going to be significant. Could be absolutely dramatic. So we'll wait and see what that is. But yeah, could be pretty amazing. Could be hundreds to one. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Bridge, of course, don't forget to play with the bridge. So definitely play with the Pulsechain and play with them around for the bridge. Now, Richard said this time and time again, if you're new to crypto, play around with these, get used to them, understand them, learn them. And of course, on Discord here, we've got short videos, video tutorials around the bridge and around Pulsechain tutorials, and some useful links as well, particularly the link around Rigby Ethereum Test Network. You'll need that for have some Ethereum to play with the Pulsechain bridge. In fact, I might add that link down here just so people can see that straight away. But also Pulsechain, so definitely play around Pulsechain and the bridge. You'll have to add the Pulsechain mainnet as well. So you can do that by going to Pulsechain. So Pulsechain, you've got all the networks details there to add into your wallet under network. So you can add a custom network in your MetaMask, for example. And then you can play around with Pulsechain and the bridge on the test network. Of course, on your MetaMask, that won't be on the actual real Ethereum network, will be on the test networks. Therefore, Rigby and Pulsechain V2B, those are two networks you'll be playing around with. But definitely play around. You can switch between the bridges just by switching the networks. So it's pretty easy. You have Ethereum to Pulsechain, or you just click this and you go the other way. You go to Pulse from Pulsechain to Ethereum there, and you'll see that the naming of the ticker convention is a little different there. I do wonder whether we'll change some of these naming conventions. I do know that a couple of the tickets on GitLab have been around naming conventions, wrap tokens and other things like that. So it's going to be interesting. All right, cool. The final thing, of course, Sacrifice Checker. They've been able to update that. The latest version is the 15th of May. That is the latest version that we had. So definitely check your sacrifice amounts there for both Pulse and Pulsechain if you did both of them or one of them. If you did Pulsechain, of course, you should end up with one Pulse in there as well. There's a nice gift there so you can do transactions. Very, very cool. If you have issues, hit the green buttons, and those you can report your issues if you have something. But I suggest it's got pretty much close to the final. It's not going to be too far away on that one. And probably Richard will probably say this is a final one. hopefully we'll get a notification there's the final sack balance. And if there's any edge cases, we'll deal with those later. Those are people that have done, made pretty big errors in terms of not following the rules, stuff like that. Cool. How we doing? An hour and 30. I think that's pretty good. Let's read through the final comments. We're going to leave it on the Hex price. Let's go to Hex price here. We're going to go to Hex price, and we'll leave it on this one. Bam. There's the Hex price on the hourly, 11.04 cents. Pretty good place to finish. I'm too unstable to hold stables. Mine keep turning into hexes, DB. That's funny, man. That is funny, DB. That is funny. I like that. Currently at the casino loss. Wish me luck. Might be able to load up on more hex. I wish you the best for that, get hex. That is funny. Good beach in the house there. Good luck. Woo-hoo-hoo. And Dave says at the end of the day, if launch takes 5 months to fix all bugs present and future, I will live with it knowing a crap launch could destroy my bags compared to launching later than anyone wanted. Davis, 100%. You're absolutely right about that. DB says, though, that would be BS, just in my opinion. And Eurasian says $3 for Hex. Wow, says Eurasian. Who said $3 for Hex? Yeah, well, I definitely think big dollars for Hex are coming in the future. Time frame unknown, though. A1, I'm pretty confident that we'll have a combined value of Hex of $1 or more this year. So I would be surprised if you can get under $1 after this year combined for the two hexes. Thanks, says Brandy Beach. People are still sacrificing Pulsechain yesterday. I wonder if people for Pulse. Yeah, they're still doing it. The official end date for sacrifices was the 6th of April. I'm not sure who these people are that are sacrificing still in those dresses, crazy stuff. But of course, as you see in the sacrifice, if you're sacrificing after the 6th of April, bam. Fortunately, according to what you've told us, your sacrifice is unlikely to be credited to Pulsechain and Pulsechain sacrifices. I'm glad about that because they gave a long messy period. They then ended at 6th of April. That is a good way of ending. You got to end the game at some stage, right? So yeah. We'll see. Richard Polly, I think he talked about possibly doing some sort of post credit, but we'll see. We'll see whether they do that. Get that official. All right, cool. I think we're wrapping up. An hour and 30 minutes. Pretty good to me. I'm going to sign off. I'll catch you tomorrow. Later in the day. I'm doing a second live stream later today, and so stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys have a great time, and good luck DCAing for sure. All right, take care, everybody. Woo-hoo-hoo. What else we got going now? We're going to post some stuff out here. Bam, 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 bam. If you're a Hex Token channel member, smash the emojis like Sandy Beach. Already bet me to it. Sandy Beach! No. All right, cool. Hey, Katie says TTYL. And Hex Token says, thanks for watching. Sandy Beach with the emojis. Hex now with the emojis. Sandy Beach with the emojis. Rongo says, thanks, mate. Hey, you're welcome. Here's some more emojis for you. A1 in the house there. Awesome. 100%. Prayers and Sandy Beach there with the emojis. Lol, says Sandy Beach. Yeah, I love it. All right. I even read out the emojis. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button on the way up. And definitely subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe and share the channel. Hit the bell, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in Discord and a second live stream later on today. Bye for now. Peace out. And of course, Instagram model love. For you. All right. Bye for now. Cheers.